Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Pretty Pink Craft Room. I'm excited to join you all today for another crafting session where we're going to take a basic mini album concept design and see how we can add on to it, how we can transform it into something even more amazing. So this is using a basic 6x12 piece of paper, and as you can see there's the three panels here. And for the front here, I've added some decorations, some flowers, some ephemera from the paper pack. And this is all using scraps, by the way. So this is a perfect project to bring out some scraps of what you may have left over. When you open it, there's space here for 3 small photos. And then on this side, I've added this little arch die here. And that actually has a pocket here to add something, and it has some journaling space. And then when you open it, there's another pocket here. I just added a little piece of a journaling card there. This flips down, so there's all this area for photos, and then there is actually another tag inside here that adds for more space for journaling or photos. Then when you flip it, there's space for even more larger photos here. This is a tuck spot, so photos can go underneath. And here's a larger archway here, and I've made that into a little tuck spot pocket for a thinner or a narrower journaling card there. And that actually flips over, and you have a pocket here with another journaling card. And then you have a tuck spot here with more journaling spaces here as well. So I loved how this turned out, and I'm excited to share it with you, especially so you can see how something basic can be turned into something even more spectacular or lovely using just some basic dies that we may have in, or you may have in your stash, using the dies that we may have purchased when we first started scrapping basic dies. So I'll show you how we can do that together, and if you're interested, I hope you will stick around and craft with me. To create the project, you will need a basic 6x12 piece of paper of whatever design that you're choosing, and you're going to score it in 3 places: 2, 5, and 8. So once again, this is a 6x12, and I'm scoring at 2, 5, and oh boy, did that score right? 8. Just making sure I press that down in the right way. Okay, so I start with the back one, and if you want to fold it over, actually I'm sorry, let's start with the front one. This is our front cover here, so I'm going to fold it over towards me, then I'm going to fold back, and then I'm going to fold over. That's an easier way to demonstrate it. Okay, so we have our front cover, our second page, our third page, and our final page. And this is the basic design of the mini album. Pretty simple, very straightforward, but let's see how we can make this into something even more special. I've moved my scoreboard out of the way, and I wanted to show you that in order to add to this design, what I did was I used some dies that I obtained from Scrap Diva Designs. These are the dies that created the archways that were on the covers of each of these pages here. However, what I thought about too is that perhaps you don't have these particular dies in your stash or in your possession. Please know that it could be done with even more basic dies, like it could be done with the circle dies. Maybe you have these nesting dies, basic dies that you may have purchased. I know that this is one of the first things I've purchased when I started purchasing dies. I did the basic designs of squares and circles and rectangles and things like that. So this same procedure or the same process can be done using basic dies like the circle dies too. But the one that I previously showed you was done with the arches using Scrap Diva Designs. So I'm going to do the same thing with the arches to show you the same design of what I've created here, but you can also do it with circle dies as well. I did my cutting of my dies onto the paper designs that I chose offline or off camera. I didn't want you to have to watch me roll these papers through the cutting die machine. So I wanted to show you though how I assembled it. So for these two, the largest dies, I cut these two pieces of paper, and I'm going to create a little tuck spot or a pocket up top. So I'm only going to assemble it by adding glue to 3 sides. So let me go ahead and glue that down. Okay, so that's one already done, and then you, of course, you have the top loading pocket there. For the next set of dies, which were these two, I cut these two designs here, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm only going to apply glue on 3 sides and again create a little pocket there as well. Okay, so these two are complete. And for my cover, I repeated this die and nested it with this die here to use on these 2 pieces of paper, and I'm going to go ahead and mount them like that. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we have our arches already completed, the largest, the middle, and the smallest. So I'm going to bring back in my project. I'm going to move these dies out of the way. So I do believe that these dies are still available with Scrap Diva Designs, and she does have like a basic essentials package, I believe was the last time I've checked, it was there. So hopefully you may be able to, if this is the pattern that you want to use, or if you need some squares or some circles, I'm sure she has that as well. So bringing back in my base design or my base project, I'm going to attach these like so. And you can already see how the project is coming alive in a different way by adding these different elements to it. Now the project is even more special. So I like for the dies to hang over the edge. However, you don't have to do that. You can just attach it to the edge and it would be perfectly fine. However, I want mine to hang off the edge. In order to do that though, I do need to create a hinge. And so in order for that to be done, I'm just going to take a piece of basic 1x2 piece of paper, I believe it is. It's just a scrap that I have. Let me see. Yeah, it's just a 1x2. And I'm not going to even score it. I'm just going to fold it in half. And let's see, which way do I want it to? Yeah, okay. So I just folded it in half. And I'm just going to attach it to the edge of wherever I want my hinge to be. So let me open it up completely, decide where I want my project to land. I'm just trying to line it up right now to make sure it's all in the way that I want it to be. Okay, I think that looks a bit about right there. Okay, let me make a pencil mark because I will not remember where I line things up at. Okay, that's better. So now I'm going to attach this little hinge system, just this little piece of paper. All I'm going to do is apply glue on one side and then attach it down. And I want to make sure that I'm coming down far enough so that it doesn't interfere with this, or it's not seen at the curving section of this die cut. I don't want that to come through at all. So I'm just making sure that it's adhering on the straight edge here, that it's going to be hidden. And looks like I lined it up pretty good. Okay, So now I can, now that that's secured down, I can add this element here, but I can let it overhang if I like for a little bit, or I can let it be right here on the edge. I'm going to do just slightly overhang, just like that. So I'm coming over maybe 1/4 of an inch. So all I'm going to do is add glue onto the hinge here. I'm going to line it up to my pencil mark that I previously made, and I'm just going to use my board to help me stay even and come over about 1/4 of an inch. Like so. So now when it opens flat. There's no resistance to it. I'm sorry, I should let the glue adhere a little further. But there's no resistance to it, and it opens completely just like a book. And you have a little bit of an overhang here as well. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I am going to go ahead and take the piece of paper, fold it in half to create a hinging system. And I'm just going to line it up where I think I want it to be. So let me just get my die out. And looks like I had it in the right place here. Again, I'm just trying to avoid the curving because I don't want it to show through. I just want to make sure that wherever I attach the hinge, it's only going to be at the part where there's a straight edge so that it's not seen. So that looks about right. So let me go ahead and add that here. And again, it's flush with the edge of the paper, and it's glued down on one side. And now it creates a hinge for you. So now if you bring this piece back in, and just make sure your project is even and lined up straight. And then I'm just going to come over. This is about maybe 1/2 of an inch I'm coming over. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not even really technically measuring it, just eyeballing it. And now, yeah, I can add the glue onto this hinge here. And since I made the pencil mark there, it's helping me stay straight as well. So I'm just going to stick to that. And again, now you'll have an opening like so. And we'll cover this up so that this won't be seen. But now you have an edge here where you can flip it out. Or again, you could always line it up to the edge of the project and it would be perfectly fine. Before I add the last one though, I do need to go ahead and secure these 2 panels down and create a little notch for myself. So, and I should have done that before I added this one on, but it's okay since it's open, it shouldn't be an issue. So I'm just trying to find my middle section here and just eyeballing where I can make a little notch here using my tab punch. And I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now I have a little notch here for a pocket, and now I can secure this pocket down, and it'll be a long pocket there too. So I can add glue on the 2 sides here, and then at the bottom, and then I can fold that back over and let that glue down and create a pocket for me. Okay, so now you have all of these sections here, and now we can move to the front here. So before I add this one back down too, I think I want to add a little decoration first so that it's not just that green there. And I'm going to glue this one all the way down. I'm not going to let it flap open. That's how I did the previous one. So let me adhere this down first. And this is just a little cluster of strips that I had left over. I just made a little cluster just for decoration. And then I can add this on like so. Let me just even this out, make a little pencil mark for myself so I can stay even. And then I'm just going to apply glue on one side because there is an overhang, and I don't want that glue to be on the part that's overhanging. So I'll just line everything up. Perfect. So even now, just the way it is, the design has created another, has become transformed, I should say, into something even more special with all of these different elements that are added onto it. And so all that is left now is just to really decorate it. And so I am going to go ahead and decorate it. I'll speed up the video so that you don't have to watch me pausing and trying to figure out what I want to do or what I want to put on there, but I'll pause it. I'll speed up the video so that it won't take forever for me to decorate it, but I'll show you how I have decorated it, and then we'll come back and look at the final work together. And here is our final product. So I showed you some of the decorating on the sped up video, but I had to step away and come back and finish the remainder of the decorating, so I wasn't able to show you everything. But still, I hope it gave you at least some inspiration as to what you can do with just a basic mini album design, how you can turn it into something special by just adding these little die cuts onto it and decorating your project as well. So this is of course the cover, and then you saw me add these photo mats here. This is our second archway die cut, and I added a flip and a pocket here and some ephemera. And then there's a tuck spot here that you can add some more ephemera. And then when you flip it over, there are these photo mats here, and these are tuck spots so you can add photos underneath. And this is our largest die cut, and I made a tuck spot here, so there's some ephemera there. And then when you flip it over, there's another tuck spot, and this is a flip up with a pocket, and then this is a tuck spot here as well. So a lot of flips and turns and things like that. And then that one's here. So I wanted to also show you, I mentioned in the beginning that you could also do the same concept with circle dies, and this is one I did with the circle dies. So instead of the archways, it used the basic circle dies that I showed you in the beginning of the video. So if you have those, this can certainly work with the same idea. I did it on the cover here, and then it has the circle dies here, and it has tuck spots and the photo mats and the largest circle die, as well as another tuck spot here, and then it flips over like so. So another idea, more inspiration of what you can do. And then of course this is the original one that we did, that I showed you in the beginning. So I hope this gave you some inspiration as to what you can do with those circle dies, or with those basic dies, those nesting dies that you may have in your stash, and how you can take even the most simplest mini album concept and turn it into something extra special. So thank you again for joining me on my channel today. I appreciate all of you sticking with me throughout this tutorial, and I look forward to crafting with you again very soon. Until then, take care. Bye.